Could Brazil's electronic voting systems actually be hacked? I mean, is it possible? Or maybe it's already happened.
Hmm. That's the big question, isn't it?
Yeah, and today we're doing a deep dive into exactly that, how Brazil defends its elections against, well, a whole world of cyber threats.
And it's not just about Brazil, really. Their approach, it has lessons for democracies everywhere. It's quite a unique context.
Absolutely. So our mission here is to sift through a pretty hefty stack of sources. We've got this report, Brazil's Election Cybersecurity, Threats and Defenses, plus insights from places like Agência Brazil, Wikipedia, Control Risks.
Taylor and Francis, Mozilla, Facebook, Wilson Center, Global Practice Guides, DFR Lab, Archive.
Ah,
Quite a list.
it really is. And the goal is to pull out the key insights, give you a shortcut to understanding Brazil's system, which is frankly incredibly sophisticated. It's multi-layered. Okay, let's unpack this.
Sounds good.
So as we started digging, what really jumped out at me first was just how different Brazil's system is. It's almost a global anomaly. Here's the thing. Unlike most countries sticking with paper ballots, Brazil went all in on electronic voting machines way back in 1996, exclusively.
That's right, 96. A long time ago in tech terms.
And the system itself seems really straightforward, right? You just type in a number for your candidate, hit confirm, and bam, vote counted. Super fast.
But there's a crucial detail there, something that really adds a layer of trust. After you vote electronically, the machine prints a paper record.
Ah, okay. So not a ballot you fill out beforehand, but a receipt afterwards.
Exactly. It's a physical confirmation. And this allows for post-election audits. You can actually check the paper trail against the electronic count to make sure everything lines up.
That makes sense, a physical check.
And what's fascinating, as you said, is Brazil is literally the only country using this specific nationwide system. It's a unique model for balancing speed and verifiability in electronic voting.
Okay, so if it's unique and all electronic, how do they actually, kick the tires? How do they test if it's secure?
Well, this is where it gets really interesting. They don't just rely on internal checks.
Right. They have these things called public safety tests. They basically invite hackers cybersecurity experts to try and break the system.
Yeah, they've been doing this since 2009. The Superior Electoral Court, the TSE, hosts them. They open parts of the system up and say, okay, find the flaws.
That takes some confidence.
Yeah.
So what happened? Did they find anything?
They did. In the 2021 test, for example, experts found 5 security issues. But, and this is the really important part, they couldn't actually change any vote results or tamper with the core software that counts the votes.
Okay, so vulnerabilities, yes, but not ones that could alter the outcome.
Precisely. In another test, some managed to mess with, like data partitions or a printed bullet in the paper receipt we mentioned. But again, the system itself stopped any kind of large-scale fraud.
So it wasn't completely impenetrable, but the critical parts held up.
Exactly. And it raises that interesting question, doesn't it? How robust is robust enough? You find flaws, you patch them. It shows security is a constant process, not a final state.
Yeah, it's an ongoing battle.
The fact they could get that far but no further speaks to the layered defense, but also means you can never just sit back and say it's done.
And we should also remember, hacking the vote count isn't the only cyber threat, right?
Oh, definitely not. That often gets the headlines, but other attacks can be just as damaging, maybe even more so in terms of public trust.
Like ransomware. I saw a note about that. In March 2025, some government agency dealing with education funds got hit by Babuk 2 ransomware.
Yeah, that's a nasty one. It locks up data, demands payment. Even if it doesn't touch election machines directly, an attack like that on a government body can cause chaos.
How so?
Well, it disrupts services people rely on, it puts sensitive personal data at risk, and fundamentally it just scares people. It erodes confidence in the government's ability to protect anything, including elections, even if the voting system itself is secure.
Ah, okay. So it's about undermining trust in the whole system, not just the vote count itself.
Exactly.
Right?
It's a psychological attack as much as a technical one.
And that brings us to another huge area, doesn't it? The non-technical threats. Disinformation, fake news, the sort of wild west of information.
Absolutely. Sometimes that stuff is actually more dangerous than a direct hack because it's easier to spread and harder to contain, especially with social media.
Platforms like WhatsApp, Telegram, Instagram, X, Facebook, They're battlegrounds.
They really are.
Yeah.
And the platforms have had to step up, or at least try to.
Right, like WhatsApp limiting message forwarding to slow down viral junk.
Yeah, and Telegram, after some pressure, set up official channels with the TSE to push out accurate info.
TikTok too, right. They added election guides, tagged millions of videos. What was it? 1.5 million before the 2022 election. And fact or hoax features.
hmm And Meta, Facebook, and Instagram, they started labeling political ads more clearly, taking down content that attacked the election's legitimacy, running these big operation centers during voting.
But is it enough? I mean, our sources suggest a lot of misinformation still flies under the radar, especially in private groups.
That's the huge challenge. You can moderate public posts, but what happens in closed WhatsApp groups or private Telegram channels? It's much harder to track and counter. It really highlights the limits of platform interventions when stuff goes private.
So these kinds of threats, the technical hacks, the ransomware, the rampant disinformation, what's Brazil's institutional response look like?
Well, the judiciary and the TSE, they haven't just sat back. They've built some pretty structured, layered defenses.
Okay, like what?
There's the Permanent Program to Combat Disinformation. That started in 2021. It's an ongoing effort, working with universities, the media, civil society groups, the tech companies themselves.
To monitor and push back against fake news?
Exactly. And they have SIAD.
Yeah.
That's the Disinformation Alert System. Think of it like an early warning system, real-time monitoring.
Then there's CIEDD, the Integrated Center for Combating Disinformation and Defending Democracy. Sounds important.
It is. It connects the TSE with the Supreme Court, the Ministry of Justice, other key bodies. The idea is to get a quick, coordinated response when something blows up.
And even the Supreme Court itself has its own program.
Yeah, the STF's Disinformation Combat Program, it specifically targets rumors and attacks against the court itself, using public campaigns and strategic comms.
Wow. So it's not just about tech fixes.
Not at all. It's a really broad approach.
Okay.
Educational campaigns for voters, working with fact-checkers, putting out clear public messages. It's trying to build societal resilience, not just technical walls.
And this is all layered on top of just general improvements to Brazil's cybersecurity, right? It's not only about elections.
That's a key point. They've set up CTIR-Gov, which is like a national cybersecurity center for the government, detecting and responding to threats across the board.
And policies like e-digital and PNSI.
Right. Those are about national digital rights and strengthening cybersecurity nationwide. It creates a stronger baseline. And the TSE even has its own internal security intelligence unit. One source called it a mini-secret service for election protection.
A mini secret service.
Kind of paints a picture, doesn't it?
Yeah.
But the point is, these broader efforts create a more secure environment overall, which definitely helps election security. The TSE isn't fighting alone.
Okay, so they have the unique voting tech with paper trails, the public hacking tests, the platform partnerships, the big institutional programs, the national cybersecurity upgrades. It sounds impressive, but the threats keep changing, don't they?
Always. That's the nature of this field. New challenges are constantly popping up.
Like what? What's on the horizon?
Well, think about AI. Deepfakes, manipulated audio or video, content that could be so convincing it fools even careful observers. That's a huge potential problem.
Yeah, I can see that being incredibly disruptive.
And even existing platforms keep evolving. Features like WhatsApp's communities or Telegram's advertising tools could, if not managed carefully, become new ways to amplify disinformation really quickly.
And then there's just people.
The human element.
Always the human element. Political polarization, the sheer anger and incivility you see online. It makes people more receptive to misinformation and helps it spread like wildfire, regardless of tech defenses.
We saw that in 2022, didn't we? A high-ranking official spreading rumors, text messages, warning about violence. The TSE had to step in pretty forcefully.
Exactly. It shows that even with strong systems, influential individuals or groups can still try to sow chaos and distrust using simple, non-technical means.
So, wrapping this all up after this deep dive, what's the big picture on Brazil's election security?
Well, I think Brazil offers a really compelling case study. It shows that electronic voting can be implemented in a way that's fast, efficient, but also auditable and transparent.
Yeah, that combination of the electronic system and the paper audit trail is key, definitely. And its multi-layered defense strategy combining the physical security, the legal rules, the social programs against disinformation. It's a model others can certainly look at. So, what does it all mean, really?
I think it means the fight for secure and trustworthy elections is, well, It's never really over. Technology keeps evolving, and so do the threats, especially around disinformation and sophisticated cyber
Right.
attacks.
It's a continuous adaptation.
And Brazil really highlights that election security isn't just about the machines or the code, it's fundamentally about public trust and the resilience of all the institutions
And
involved.
we all have a role in that.
Absolutely. Based on everything we've looked at today, there are things you, listening right now, can do, like really verify what you see online, especially in those private chats on WhatsApp or X.
Take that extra second before sharing.
Yeah, and make an effort to share good information from reliable official sources. Demand transparency from the media you consume and the platforms you use about how they handle this stuff.
Support initiatives that aim to uphold democratic integrity, whether they're fact-checking groups or educational programs.
It all contributes.
So maybe a final question to leave you thinking about. Looking at all this, what aspect of election security worries you the most right now? Is it the potential for a sophisticated, state-sponsored hack of the voting systems?
Or is it the rise of AI-generated deepfakes that could fool almost anyone?
Or maybe it's the way misinformation spreads like wildfire through private messaging groups, seemingly beyond anyone's control. Something to ponder.